As our story begins, we ask you to come with us on a far journey. A journey that takes us millions of miles from the Earth, where the planet Krypton burned like a green star in the distant heavens.
Krypton.
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 Krypton. Krypton.
Welcome to Krypton 101, the show before the Krypton after show.
That's right. Yeah,
the pre-show before the after show. So we're going to be talking about everything you need to know about Krypton tonight. We're also going to be talking about some of our Superman knowledge, and we got a lot of fun things planned for you. But before we get into that, let's introduce everybody first. We'll start this way.
Hi. Hey guys, it's Tony. Good to see everybody. I'm really, really happy to be here.
What's up, everybody? It's Johnny again, JP. Glad to be back.
I thought you didn't know your name for a second.
Oh, really? I was like, well, who am I?
Yeah.
Well, token black guy? What?
Of course, yeah, man. Of course, I'm Joe with that hashtag show, and joining us is Jody.
Hi, I'm Jody.
All right, you did it. You're a Superman expert, so a lot of our people that don't know who you are, run down a little bit of your Superman knowledge for us.
Been a fan since preschool when I dressed up like Superman and then put like a Clark Kent outfit over that.
Kind of like now.
Yeah, well, yes, actually. Very accurate, except I had a bowler hat, like a black plastic bowl. Anyway, so I'm an expert on Superman. That's where I'm from.
You're an expert on Superman, but tonight it's all about what you need to know about Krypton. Mm-hmm. Now, Krypton's going to be the SyFy Channel's big DC show that's coming to the SyFy Channel. It's going to be part superhero and part sci-fi. Of course, fitting that we're going to be catching you up on everything you need to know. Now, Johnny, when it comes to Superman, how much do you know?
I know a little bit. You know, I'm also a comic book writer, so I've always been a Superman fan. So I've always appreciated him. He is kind of like the official, first superhero in a way. Mm-hmm. So, you got to, learn where your books come from.
And Tony, I know you're an avid comic book reader, and you were rummaging through the giveaways to steal for yourself. I got that. But what?
It's my birthday. I can do what I want, man.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Birthday.
Talk to me about your Superman knowledge.
Actually, I had the good fortune to one of my good friends, he's one of my friends now, but he was actually my college professor. He actually taught a history of comic books course at my college. And so we dove deep, especially into the beginning of superhero comics, and you can't talk about that without talking about Superman. So I have a pretty good core knowledge of Superman in the beginning. It's kind of fuzzy, the in-between the very beginning and now, so that's where my blind spots are, unfortunately, but I'm hoping to kind of use this opportunity to catch up a little bit. So.
And for me, so the way that my dad used to get me to go to church is, this is a true story. He wanted me to dress up to go to church, so I used to wear a Superman Halloween costume underneath my suit that I would wear to church. But, however, it was the white shirt, so you could totally see the Superman S underneath. And I thought I was the coolest guy at any kind of Catholic church there was.
You were the coolest guy.
Definitely was. So then when we got to our Sunday dinner or lunch at the Sizzler, that's when I used to run around at the Superman.
And wait, so every time you get the scissors, you're just bam!
Oh, yeah, 100. That was the whole thing. And my dad was like, you got to unbutton it so I don't have to keep buying you shirts.
Buttons.
That's a true story.
Just buttons at the Sizzler.
Yeah, I was losing buttons at the Sizzler. So, Jody, what else we got?
Well, we have a lot of stuff to get through tonight. We got a special guest coming up. He hasn't been on any talk shows or anything, as far as I know, in a while. We're doing a cooking segment, Krypto Bites. We got a little bit of a list fun goodness, some giveaways.
We do have giveaways. So to get those giveaways, a lot of you guys know that we have the Super Chat feature. That is the S sign that helps support the show. Hit that button and you will automatically be entered to win for these giveaways. We also have a TeePublic store where you can get your Cool Geek t-shirts like Superman and all the other comic book superheroes. There's Power Rangers and video games and everything that you love, sci-fi fandom as well. Get your t-shirts at our TeePublic store. That link is on the bottom in the descriptions below. And also, there is the THS hashtaggers group. Now, what that is, that keeps the conversation going. You fans out there, tell us about what news you like. You post it in there, comment. We're building our own community. That's the THS hashtaggers Facebook group. And like Jody said, there are giveaways. So the way to get that is through the Super Chat feature, and you guys all know what that is.
Cool. All right. What was your favorite Krypton?
Oh, my favorite Krypton, man.
That was a segue, by the way.
That was what
Killed that segue.
So smooth.
Nailed it.
So smooth.
My favorite Krypton was I'm partial to the Donner Superman Krypton.
Oh, okay. 1978.
1978.
All
Beatnik
white.
Krypton.
Ice crystals.
The hula hoop thing that had the yeah, I'm all about that. The faces were the judges.
Got it.
I'm all about the Donner Krypton. What about you?
I loved the Adventures of Superman. I mean, Donner, you can't deny that. That was an amazing one. That changed everything. But the when they redid it for the Superman the Animated Series, the Bruce Timm, where he just kind of like took every Krypton that had ever been and kind of like shoved it together in one beautiful. That was mine.
No, no.
How about you, Johnny?
Mine would be the comic books. There's one that happened before New 52. It was called like the Clone Wars Krypton, where this like whole Clone Wars situation happened, and it started off with this mother who wanted to find the perfect mate for her son, but the only perfect mate she thought he could have was herself. So she took a clone of herself and had her son marry that person.
Oh,
and
yeah. World of Krypton.
Exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
yes.
And then what's crazy is he finds out who it is. He goes crazy, kills himself,
Yes.
and then they start the Clone Wars things. Where I'm like, whoa, this is crazy.
It's Oedipus?
Pretty much, exactly.
It's super like that, and it's all like Flash Gordon-y, lots of thighs and like midriffs, and it's
all
pretty
Shakespearean and crazy like that, everything like
Because there's
that.
nothing more alien than thighs.
Awesome. There isn't, especially yeah.
So Tony,
They
what
do
was
save
your
lives.
favorite Krypton?
It's the Krypton we never really got to see. That's the one in Superman Lives. So if you...
Wait, we're talking Tim Burton?
Yeah.
Nick Cage?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man. Because if you guys haven't seen The Death of Superman Lives, that's the documentary that kind of goes through, what basically happened to that movie, or rather didn't happen. There's a lot of concept art in that movie, and it looks really trippy. They were really, really intent on making it as alien and possible. And there's, in my mind, direct influence on sort of the inspiration for it. It kind of just felt very, very Man of Steel. It didn't exactly look like, what was going to happen in Superman Lives is what happened in Man of Steel, but definitely the influence is there. And I always appreciated a Krypton that just looked so unlike Earth. So
Thanagarian snare
yeah,
beast.
yes, yes, absolutely. I want my snare beast.
Well, it's cool that there really is a lot. There's so many Kryptons. There's like every artist, but there's actually only one real Krypton, and we're really lucky. We got sent away to call it.
What are we doing?
This is a segue as well.
Okay.
What is that?
Moving in closer.
Yeah, there you go.
Hold on. Let me just get a chair. Super tech. All right, is that good?
Yeah.
All right.
Jody, what's happening?
Well,
oh my gosh.
We're gonna get a direct call. I think it's like Bluetooth.
Straight from the Fortress of Solitude?
Straight to the Fortress of Solitude. Let's see if this works. Jor-El. We get Jor-El in here.
Jor-El.
Oh,
What?
It's Jor-El.
I'm sorry. Did you say Jor-El?
Jor-El.
Not Jor-El.
Yeah, Jor-El.
Oh, Jor-El.
It's my name, Jor-El.
So we've been saying it wrong since.
saying
Yeah,
all the time.
you've been saying it wrong.
Sorry, Jor-El.
Okay, Jor-El. Cool. Well, tell us what life was like on Krypton, Jor-El.
Jor-El.
What?
It's Jor-El.
Okay.
Krypton is a planet of wonder and science where all your dreams come true. And there's so many colorful characters capering about. And then there's this talking skull, and you go down these rapids, and Johnny Depp is there,
Whoa.
and he makes you an offer you can't refuse.
Wait.
Hold on.
Are you
There's a
talking
boat
about
set-
the
What?
Pirates of the Caribbean ride?
No, I'm talking about Krypton.
Oh, all right. I
That's on
guess
Krypton?
keep going then.
Where was I?
Something
So-
about
so
Johnny
you-
Depp on Krypton.
Yeah. Of a trip lately, so.
And then you sail past the vast treasure room, art and diamonds and more gold than all the Jews in Hollywood.
Whoa. Okay.
And there's this guy, he's trying to get a key, a dog to get him a key.
It's
so he doesn't.
definitely the Pirates of the
Wait.
Caribbean ride.
Yeah.
Jor-El.
You're the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay. I am Pirates of the Caribbean
There it
right.
is. Okay.
Can't fight that.
You're a suitcase.
Or a bagel.
Or a bagel.
Right, yeah, bagel. You want to do that? Again, can you tell us about Krypton?
All right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Krypton. It's a very futuristic place. I mean, here on Earth, you get around with cars,
Yeah.
but in Krypton, You fly on rockets, up and away they go at a big track.
That sounds pretty accurate.
And then you fly down. The track is twisted and turning in the dark, and then you fly through this tunnel, and they take your picture.
Take your
Space
picture.
Mountain.
Huh.
You're talking about Space Mountain now. That's another Disneyland ride.
What?
Space Mountain on
Space. Whoa. Hold on a second. What's your name?
Jody.
Jody. Is that Jewish?
Yes.
Because I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. When I was doing this major motion picture,
You were an
huge budget.
And I thought you were. Yeah, aren't you a scientist?
Hey, don't interrupt me, Shlomo. Krypton is a planet that has seen a lot of turmoil. I was doing a picture on Krypton.
Okay.
Krypton, it's a planet that has seen a share of its turmoil. Natural disasters, technological catastrophes, war.
It's true. Yeah.
And then there's this one ghost in a box, and you drive by in your little car, and it pops out, and it says, boo. And I swear to God, I almost shit myself. I was so scared. But there's, hey, there's real beauty there, too,
Okay.
on Krypton.
All right.
A beautiful bride, imagine, left on her wedding day.
Not Krypton.
A big feast. Dancing guests in a great hall.
This is the Haunted Mansion.
You're the Haunted Mansion.
Okay. The Haunted Mansion at
Eddie
Disneyland.
Murphy.
What?
It's the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. The
No,
wedding.
I thought we were talking about Krypton here.
I thought we were too.
I tell you what, Moshe. Krypton is the most advanced society on Earth. Everyday things to us, they would seem like magic here on Earth. Flying cars, dragons, even our prison system would seem like science fiction to you.
Okay.
It's guarded by these creatures, and they prey on your worst fears. Their strength comes from darkness and despair.
Yeah.
You'll be walking around eating a meatball sandwich you found in your pocket. Normal day, no big whoop. And then it gets cold. That's how you know they're coming. And they swoop down, and they suck on your face hole. They suck all your soul out, like the vacuum cleaner and the maid in your hotel room. You're just trying to eat a pizza you found in another person's hotel
This
room.
is Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You're Harry Potter.
Okay.
It sounds like LAPD to me.
All right.
Hey,
Thanks.
hold on. I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
Okay.
Waiting.
How about a picture of the real Krypton?
I would
You want
love
to see
a
that?
picture of the real Krypton. Yes, please.
All right, Jor-El.
Yeah.
Finally.
Put it up.
Finally.
Put it
Throw
up.
up that real picture of Krypton.
Oh,
All right, that's just you
man.
on Splash Mountain. All right, Krypton. All right.
No,
Thank you, Jor-El.
no, I'm gonna
Jor-El
make you
was
an
with
offer
you
you
too,
can't
man. Come on,
refuse.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I really thought that was gonna, Jor-El was gonna shed some light on the Krypton experience.
He
man.
spits when he talks, and it's right here over my shoulder, man. It's not. Yeah.
You can also, smell his breath.
Not fun. Not fun. Not fun. So that was not. I don't think that was Krypton.
Nope. No, that was Disneyland. All right. So what's next on our agenda? All right. Let's talk about let's do another great segue. And we'll just talk about a list. I thought it would be fun to do like a live list.
Okay.
All right. So here we are. I'd like to talk about the best and worst Kryptons. I think it's the 5 best and the 3 worst Kryptons of all time.
Ooh.
So I'm not covering all the Kryptons here, just the ones that I personally think. I'd love to get your reactions to them. Fair warning, the comics are, they're like a massive cluster. There's like over, there's just so much. So I picked and choose. All right, so let's start with Action Comics number 1, which is the very first appearance of Krypton ever. It's a classic. You got to go with it. Do we have that picture we can throw up there? Yep. It's Action Comics number 1. It's actually a distant planet was destroyed by old age. A scientist placed his infant son within a hastily devised spaceship, launching it towards Earth.
Yeah.
Hastily.
So that's literally all you see of Krypton in the first issue.
Okay.
And that's it. But it's the birth of Krypton. It's the birth
This
of
is
Superman.
your best of
That's
list.
the number 1.
Was that
number
also?
1?
Do you know if that's the first panel in Action?
That is the
Comics?
very first panel
Oh,
of Action
wow.
Comics
Oh,
number 1.
wow.
The next one is like an orphanage with a rocket, and then the next one is Superman.
Interesting.
So Krypton appeared 2 panels prior to Super
the
Baby.
rocket made it to the orphanage.
Yes.
Just straight trajectory into the orphanage.
I believe so.
Wow.
I believe it actually landed
Well,
in the
Kryptonian
orphanage.
engineering, absolutely.
Exactly.
That's beautiful.
My number 2 is, I think it's going to be a curveball. I wanted to go weird, and I'm comfortable because it also crosses over with the comics. 1973, The Super Friends. I actually have a clip because it's Casey Kasem playing Jor-El, and it's pretty bonkers. Can we play that?
Let's get that clip going.
Casey Kasem plays Jor-El. Laura is Laura's like totally represents. She's a scientist. She's devising the guidance system, which is not a computer program. Instead, it's like a giant box. It's like she's hammering a giant box.
We said Casey Kasem.
It's Casey Kasem. It's narrated by the one. Not the, there it is.
To cease all scientific activity.
I beg of you to listen.
Great.
Quality animation.
So this is it. I love this. Freeze frame is coming up. It's gonna be so.
Blindness is condemning
So
billions.
It's been weeks
So
since you
angry
said
at them.
Krypton was
It's like
doomed.
Mike almost
Look
pops.
about you, Jor-El. Do you see doom?
Okay. And then
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They just shake the camera and everything falls. And then they beg
Got that
Jor-El.
Scooby-Doo run going on.
Oh, it's the best. And Jor-El like slams him over
There's
his
no
side.
help for any of
Like,
us.
help us, Jor-El! And he literally goes, "There's no help for any of us."
Oh wow.
Yeah,
The best acting probably Casey Kasem has
Ever.
probably ever done.
And then they kill billions of people on a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. It's pretty sweet. And it's all framed by like this Marvin and Wendy and Wonder Dog story where they're trying to teach a bad guy a moral. And I'm not joking you. The moral is don't blow up a planet.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait,
At
seriously?
the end of the cartoon, they're like, and that's the
Wait,
moral.
which one is this?
Wait,
Don't
what?
blow up other planets.
Which cartoon is that?
It's
Super
it's
Friends?
called Super Friends. The episode is called The Planet Splitter.
Okay.
Because, that's what you do. You use Superman as a moral guide to not destroy entire planets.
So the moral is don't
That goes
commit
without saying.
genocide. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Was the
I'm
villain
horrified
Hitler?
and
Like-
very, very curious. So, yeah.
If you watch the episode, there's also, like, for a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, like a ton of politics. There's whole scenes of talking about...
Who do you think came up with that idea when they're sitting around like, you know what?
Hannah or Barbera.
Right. I don't know. Probably Casey Kasem. He was like, look, you guys, I really want to act. I think I can win an Emmy for this. If I play Jor-El, I can really do something
He
with
could have
this.
been
You know this is
lobbying
Super Friends,
for
right?
the movie or something. You never know.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
That's
All right.
fantastic.
My number 3 is, of course, the 1978 Superman. What can you say? It's like the greatest. It's ice. It's crystals. It's there's really when I saw it, I remember it like flipped everything on its head.
I also feel like that Krypton defines the look for what we get in like future iterations, like Smallville.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I wouldn't say so much Man of Steel, but definitely Smallville and a few other things that we're so familiar with Superman.
I could not agree. There it is. It's all the crystals. The craziness. Yeah.
Is this also the first time we get the different symbols for different houses on characters?
On screen, yes,
On
on
screen.
screen. Yeah. That's the first time they all stand against him. It's pretty cool. All right, my next one is actually World of Krypton, which you discussed.
Oh.
John Byrne, Mike, a little Hellboy guy, Mike Magnolia. Is that how you say his name?
Mike Mignola, yeah.
No, great. I got it. They created what I think is one of the best aesthetics for Krypton. It's like cold. At first, it's like all crazy. All right, so at the bottom, you can see there's like the Flash Gordon-y
Yeah, totally.
look, and then it evolves to the cold, we don't like to touch each other science. There's also like some crazy shit in the bottom corner there. You can see there's like a war suit, which his crotch opens up and a dude slides out. That's pretty sweet.
Really?
If you're gonna make
wow.
a Kryptonian war suit, just have him slide out the junk. That's the way it goes.
Does that say armored womb? Am I reading that
Yeah, no,
correctly?
you're right. That's an armored womb. That's how you fight on Krypton.
How did you not tell me about this, Johnny?
How
dare you.
I tried to block it out.
That Krypton was also one of the more definitive Kryptons from the comic that we got for a long time.
Absolutely. Which
I
will
like
lead
it.
into my next best Krypton, which is my favorite. Again, it's the last one on the list. 1996 Superman the Animated Series. It's an amalgam of like all the ones that came before it. I think I put a video up, which I could just talk through because it's just so goddamn good. It's literally just all the Kryptons you've ever wanted, and they just like shoved them in a blender and stuck them out. It's also like the best story because they don't just be like, oh yeah, they couldn't get off the planet. You're always the one that knew. The whole premise is that Brainiac essentially like tricks everyone. He's like, no, Jor-El's an idiot. Everyone's safe. And then it's like too late. Brainiac hops aboard a satellite, and then they're like, oh yeah, we're all dead. And then they kiss.
This Krypton though, this whole style, this Bruce Timm thing, is amazing, and it still holds up.
Yeah, for sure.
It's called Ocean Liner Deco. That's what they call it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
It looks like Shi'ar from the X-Men, but yeah.
You're right.
Was that before or after the animated?
Well, John Byrne
Okay.
was also a big influence on Shi'ar with him and Chris Claremont.
Yeah.
They did X-Men. So I'm sure that carried over a lot.
All right, so this was the good stuff. We're going to watch Krypton go kablooey, and then we're going to get to the worst, the absolute worst. The very first one, I think, is the Adventures of Superman TV series. In the very first episode, they bring out Krypton. It's not a bad story. I just think it's super lazy. So if we can bring that up, the picture first, and then we'll do the video.
We're talking the 1952 series?
1952.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Can we get no picture?
Yeah, 1 second.
All right. That's cool. We'll wait. Anyway, so the what I like about this is they got really late. There it is. So on one side is Flash Gordon, and on one side is Jor-El. And they
Which
literally,
one is which?
Wait, what?
Blonde dude is
Flash
Flash Gordon. Come on, dude. And Jor-El is over there and wearing the same shirt. They just kind of washed it. And then, they're like, that's it. We're good. And it's every character. There's a guy wearing a Captain America shirt. I couldn't find a clear picture.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa, seriously?
It's seriously, clearly Captain America. And there's like, I couldn't. There's an article we're doing later that has everything. It's got all the pictures. I couldn't get a good one.
Nice little Easter egg.
And then the next thing I love about this is if we can play the clip. This is what I call the manhandle Krypton.
Easy now, easy.
So this is Jor-El's move.
Listen to me, this is the end. Krypton is breaking apart.
I'm not going.
You must.
That's how you convey passion. Don't you know
Laura,
that?
please, there isn't time.
Oh, there you go.
Couldn't.
Tender.
He can't act.
Our son is on his way to Earth.
It's a
Cultural differences.
Kryptonian grab.
The next one is the 1984 Supergirl. It's kind of cheating. Technically, it's not Krypton. It's Argos, and they're in an interdimensional pocket hole. But they took everything that we can play that right away, and I'll just talk through it, get this going. Everything that was great about the Superman movie Krypton, they start off and you're like, oh yeah, I recognize that. Crystals, floating lights, I'm cool. And then once we get inside, there's like a beehive thing. And then it quickly transitions into a hippie colony.
Oh,
where, like, everyone's running around barefoot, and there's like bean bags, and it's like super. Peter O'Toole shows up, and he's got like a magic wand, and it's awful. It's just look at this. Look, what are they wearing? Nothing.
And this is still supposed to be in the same universe as Chris Reeve.
Yeah. She says, "Oh, my cousin's on Earth." Like it's cool.
Just a different city. It's not Kandor.
Krypton blew it. No, but look at that. There's nothing. It's not worse.
Maybe this is the hippie commune.
Could be.
Low key, though.
Could be.
Yeah. We have those.
It's the cult on
We
Krypton.
do, but it's not as bad as this.
And like,
Do we know that for sure, though?
No, you're right. There's a good friend, Peter O'Toole. Great special effects and a magic wand. Yeah.
Oh
at
my
that.
God.
Yeah, acting his butt off. God bless you.
Holy crap.
What's that gonna be?
And all right, our last one, the last worst, is the Man of Steel.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, here's my thing about the Man of Steel. Here's my thing about it is the reason I think it's garbage is because
the penises?
Well, you mean the flying up penises?
The penis
I should've
rockets?
Put that in there. I thought about that. and I
We
was
don't
like,
have the
man.
flying dildo?
That's what I
They
thought you were
don't have
going
the flying
for.
dildo. Instead, I just took.
Oh.
I
Am
took
I allowed
like
to
a
say
minute,
dildos on this
and
show?
I literally
You already said it,
randomly
to go with
put a heavy metal song over it, and it fits. I just play it, and you'll see. This is why I hate it. Is because it's not good.
When you say metal song.
The time has come to awaken
Dildos aside.
Yeah. And then the edge just gets space.
That's part of things.
Yeah, seriously.
the conjurer.
guy or somebody on their little Krypton phone, and it's just that little pin face thing from Spencer's.
Well, you would have, I don't know. After we got our Jor-El, I'd be okay with that pin face thing.
All right. Well, next up, I think we'll have. Speaking of your favorites, is we'll do some crypto bites, Tony. You wanna do that?
Yeah, let's do that. All right.
All right.
Magic.
Let's go over to our kitchen set.
Pardon me, Vince. All right. So, bet you didn't know this, but your comic books actually double as recipe books. Little known secret. So, if you guys do happen to find yourself hosting a Krypton watching party, and you're really freaked out about all those people invading your personal space, and you want a really good excuse to just be like, I'm gonna be over here, guys, because I'm making food. I'm gonna show you how to do that, and it's only gonna take about 5 ingredients. So, what you're gonna need is 10 cups of popped salted popcorn. We got that. We need 4 tablespoons of softened butter. Got the butter. Awesome. 5 cups of mini marshmallows. 10 drops of green food coloring. Awesome. And then you're going to need cooking spray or vegetable oil. So, yeah, I like the cooking spray. I have been cleared to operate an aerosol can. I hope you are too, but yeah, go with God or Jor-El. Either one. All right, so first we're going to start off by putting 10 cups of that salted popcorn in a large bowl. How dare you? So we're going to go ahead and take our popcorn. Now, what you should be using is either the bagged popcorn, or you can either use air popped or the stove popped popcorn. What you really don't want to use is that microwave garbage, because it's just garbage. So I think we can all agree on that. Next thing, you're going to take a large cookie sheet. You're going to take your cooking spray or your vegetable oil. Make sure you get that nice and lubricated. Very important. Now, we need to talk about making our green marshmallows, because that's like the real key to this whole thing. So you're going to go ahead and take your bowl of mini marshmallows. You're going to go ahead and dump that. This is room temperature. This is about half a stick of butter. It's at room temperature. Go ahead and just dump it in there. Get in there. Cool. All right. Let's see, where am I in my comic book / recipe book? So what you're going to do is then you need to microwave this. So there is slight cooking involved. You need to pop that in your microwave for about 1.5 minutes. Make sure it's nice and gooey. Take it out after 1.5 minutes, stir it up nice and good, and then put it back into the microwave for another minute, all right? And we need to make sure that it looks like a science experiment, so it needs to be bubbling and it needs to be gross and green, okay? So basically what it's going to look like is this guy. And then you're going to go ahead and just put that into your popcorn. Thank you. This is disgusting, by the way. If it looks like gack, you're on the right track. So, aw, rhymes. Okay. All right, we're just going to put that there. Now, we could go ahead and be responsible adults and try to use this, and mix it all together with a utensil, but we're not going to do that. What you're going to do is take your oil or cooking spray. You're going to go ahead and just lubricate your hand. It gets weird. It's my birthday. We're allowed to. All right, and then you're just going to mix all that up, okay? So you're going to do that for a while. It's going to take a minute. Like I said, you kind of want to break up the social interaction from your friends. They're there watching TV, watching something, hopefully Krypton, and you're going to be in the kitchen just making things happen like this. Now, what is going to happen is that I'm going to employ a little bit of magic. And what we should be doing is actually putting all this onto that cookie sheet, that lubricated cookie sheet, and letting it cool. Now, magic, we actually have the finished product back over at the guys. And we should be seeing exactly what it looks like when it's completed and done. Magic.
Yes.
You guys want to try some?
Right.
Try some.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is good.
Yeah.
It's marshmallowy. It's gooey. It's perfect for your
Krypton viewing
watch
pleasure.
party.
Yeah, that's great.
I dig it. Did you? All right.
Yeah, man.
Don't touch me. All right. So,
Did you get a towel? All right.
Several.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they let me play with the food because it's my birthday.
That is not coming off your hand anytime soon. So,
You're just gonna
That's
eat.
what she said.
oh, that's good.
Nice. All right.
All right, so this is pretty good. Make that for your Krypton viewing party. But we have a giveaway. It's trivia time. So, first one to use the hashtag with the correct answer, you win a stack of comics that Jody's about to pick out. I just spit all over you. I'm sorry about that. I like it. But that's also what she said. But we have a stack of comics we're going to give out to you. And the trivia question is, what is the bottled city from Krypton, on Krypton, what is the bottled city, right?
The Bottle City from Krypton.
From Krypton.
Yeah, come start.
Yeah.
Use a hashtag, and you're going to get a stack of comics right now. First one to do that is going to win. There you go.
Oh, wow.
So hold these up. A stack of comics.
We'll throw one of these on top.
There you go. Oh, wow.
Ooh.
You get a trade with it. So first one with that answer wins. What is the bottled Kryptonian city called? Mm-hmm. All right. We want to wait until we get an answer, or you want to move on to the next thing?
Keep going.
Yeah, man.
Let's do this.
All right.
I'm all hopped up on marshmallows and popcorn. Let's do this.
So we have the basic story and why Krypton story has lasted so long.
Oh, right. Okay, so what we're talking about here is the story of Krypton is essentially scientist, his wife, put a baby in a rocket, launches it, the planet blows up, they didn't believe him. All of the stuff that has carried through every iteration, right? Why is that a classic?
We got an answer.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's already won this.
What? Oh, they
Black-
answered the thing.
Yeah, Blackwing already has won this.
Hey.
Pandora is the correct answer. Sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off.
no, please.
Blackwing, congratulations. All this is coming out to you.
Way to go, Blackwing.
Congratulations. All right. Just before I rudely interrupted
No,
you.
go nuts. That's it.
Go ahead.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Why has that lasted? Why has that archetype story lasted? Is the question. Yeah, go.
Okay, cool. Well, I think the chosen one archetype is just something that's found in all kinds of fiction, but especially with this one, you're talking about the chosen one, the only one of an entire planet that actually managed to survive, barring his cousin, of course, and of course
the dog.
and the dog,
And the monkey.
and the
And
yeah,
the horse.
exactly.
Gecko, yeah.
But at the
Comet.
very beginning,
was
he
his
was the only one. So then he just kind of became the hopes and dreams of an entire planet, just sent forth to like go ahead and prosper. I mean, like that's that's a very eternal storyline.
That's a good
That's
answer.
great. It's super deep. I wasn't going deep. I was just like, this is because it's
Because
fun.
aliens and
'Cause
explosions
it's
and
cool,
shit.
man. There's
yeah,
like
man.
science.
Now, let me ask you, since we are talking about Krypton 101 here for Krypton Sci-Fi Channel show, we're diving deeper into the Superman lore. We're going back to the past, even before Kal-El was born, even before Jor-El is a thing. We're talking about Superman's grandfather.
Right.
Now, Sigel. So, Jody,
Yeah.
how much has Sigel actually appeared in comics?
No. Sigel, there's if if someone points me out that I'm wrong, I would love it. But as far as I remember, Sigel has only appeared in 3 canon comics. There was a couple like Elseworld stories where they went back, but there's 3 canon comics, and that is World of Krypton 3, World of Krypton 4, and I think it's like a Starman.
Wow.
Where they
really?
travel to Krypton and Sigel. And in each one, he's only in it for like a few panels each. He's sort of like a grumpy. Do you have the picture of Sigel? It's in there somewhere. I don't know where. But it's he's like grumpy Jor-El. He like tells Jor-El, he goes, "You've been studying too much." Like that's his big line at one point. It's ridiculous.
So Sigel is Grandpa L.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking more about his characters and all the other characters you're going to be seeing on this show. We're going to be going in depth about. Oh, we got our first super chat. Here's an offer you can't refuse. I'll give you a $5 donation. I don't need a prize. We can negotiate the trade off later.
Hey.
Oh, all right.
What
There
does
he
that
is.
mean?
There's Sigel right there. Not the grandma in the background, but the guy in front. And his name was even spelled wrong because it was supposed to be
Sega L.
It's Siegel.
Siegel.
Jerry
Jerry
Siegel
Jerry
and
Siegel.
Joe Shuster is what
Oh.
it was a reference to.
Nice.
And that's him.
Interesting.
He's just he's trying to get his son to procreate, and his son is like, "I just want to study, Dad. That's what I like doing."
And this is still the look of the John Byrne Krypton that we see.
Well,
here.
it is the John Byrne Krypton.
Okay.
That's where this is where he appears.
So we're going to be talking more about the characters that are appearing on Krypton for the Sci-Fi Channel show. But Before we do that, I mean, is there more about Krypton and talking about Superman, or actually the heritage of the El family that we would need to know?
There is the show itself, as far as we know, does not actually.
Why'd you give us that look? As far as we know,
I don't know. Why did I?
I don't know.
As far as we know, they actually take very little story-wise from the comics because there isn't much from Sigel. You're going 200 years back. Jor-El is like a mainstay. He's in every movie. He's in comics all the time. He comes back. He talks to Supes for whatever reasons. But Sigel and back, you don't know anything about those dudes.
So we have a lot of a Superman backstory. We get to the El family. Johnny, I got to ask you, what do you want to see in the Krypton show?
Honestly, because one person I want to see.
We got another super chat, guys. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Chip Douglas says, can't wait for this.
Thank you, Chip.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Chip. So Johnny, go ahead.
Also, for me, my question always been when I watch read comics, everything like that. If Krypton has all this advanced technology, why did the planet get blown up? There's only one survivor, and that's been the question that's always gone through my mind. And so the character who I want to see, who I heard might be in the show, correct me if I'm wrong, Jody, it was the guy who blew up the moon, who's the reason why they banned all space travel on Krypton.
Now, yes and no, because again, yes, the character of Jaxor is supposed to be in the show, but it's played by a woman. So
I heard the transgender
banning, all right,
which I'm fine with. But we don't know what the story is there. We don't know if they're keeping it the same. Maybe she will be blowing up the moon.
Exactly.
In this sequence. I do know that supposedly she's like in jail or off somewhere. So she might have already done it.
Because, spoilers, but in the comics, she's the first prisoner of the Phantom Zone and known as, Krypton's, worst criminal. So for me, I want to see her development, see, how she's going to pop up, and see, again, will she blow up the moon? Will we see that storyline?
You want to see that over Brainiac? I'm not to derail anything. I want to see Jaxor too, no argument. But Brainiac.
See, but the thing about it is, at this time period, Brainiac hasn't become evil yet. He's just a computer system.
That's like saying to cartoon. I don't know how they're going to use him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, that's the reason why I'm not that excited for him, because later on he was supposed to become evil. So 200 years prior, he could just be basic artificial intelligence. He'd be like AO on the line at this point, where he's so basic. He was like, "Do I really want to see you? Do I really want to see you?"
Now, Tony, it looks like you got that crap off your hand. It looks like you jacked off an elephant when you had that stuff on your hand. Yes. But
there were no elephants.
However, going back to this, what character do you want to see in DC lore appear on Krypton?
God, I'm pretty content with just Brainiac, just because we haven't gotten him in. Yeah, we've never gotten him in a live action setting before.
That's Smallville. We had Brainiac 5, right? Or we had Brainiac. It was
Did he?
James Marsters played Brainiac in Smallville.
Yeah. No, I mean,
we haven't had a good iteration of Brainiac.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Except for the animated series, but
but
we're talking live action.
Supergirl now also has Brainiac too, right? Is that am I wrong?
But that's Brainiac 5.
Oh, it's Brainiac 5.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, I want the green little head and the little dead eyes. I want
3
that.
dots and all that good stuff and everything like that.
What Brainiac is supposed to be in my mind, and yeah, I'm really excited for him just because. Again, I'm a huge fan of what would have been for that Superman Lives movie, and
so you're just gunning for that.
Yes, man, and it just seems like anything that would, because that's why I don't hate on Man of Steel so much as I think a lot of other people do, just because there's a lot of what we would have gotten in Tim Burton's iteration of Krypton that showed up in Man of Steel, and if I can go ahead and get Brainiac too, that's gonna be pretty sweet.
Yeah. Along those lines, I just want a giant spider.
Thanagarian snarf.
It's not a spider. It's not a spider. It's Thanagarian snarf. How dare you?
It showed up in the Wild Wild West with Will Smith.
It did at the very end. They caught it. Yeah.
Steampunk.
And Loki showed up in Justice League too. Batman's new thing was it's kind of a giant spider, but okay, do what you got to do.
Now, what are the things, Jody, that you're hoping that this show can accomplish in Superman lore?
In terms of Superman lore, nothing.
Is there anything it can mess up?
Oh, it can mess up everything.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. A bad show just is. I mean, I don't want an example of Gotham where it's don't do that. Every episode, you're don't go there, don't touch that. Oh, you did. But I just want a good story. I just want a good Kryptonian sci-fi.
You want the weird stuff that we kind of saw in Man of Steel glimpses of.
Look, if he gets on a dragon dog and flies around, I will be happy as all hell.
All right.
That crazy shit is wonderful.
And Johnny, go ahead.
I was going to ask, so Jody, because you did your top 5 list or your top 5 Kryptons, if there was a Krypton that you mostly want them to adapt this from, which Krypton would you want it to be?
Oh, again, I'm going to go straight back to the Superman the Animated Series. I love that Krypton. It's just so well thought out. I'm a world building guy. I love world building, and that one is like, oh no, they couldn't just escape because they were disagreeing with Jor-El. There's a reason behind it, and this is why he built. Everything was thought of. Why didn't this happen? They thought of it. Brainiac trapped the planet.
And
yeah, that was great.
Johnny, so one thing that DC is kind of doing better at than their actual DCEU, the DC Cinematic Universe, is their TV properties. Right now, the CW is thriving with 4 strong shows. Gotham, not so much, but it's still on the air. I think it's in its 3rd season. And now we have the first DC SyFy show, which is obviously Krypton. So what is the advantages of being on the SyFy channel? Because this is our first DC cable show, essentially.
This is true. I think the possibility is like the freedom of it, because I think when you do like movies and whatnot, there's such a big budget attached to it. There's a lot of restrictions with it. But I think being on the SyFy channel, they get a lot more freedom. They can explore different storylines, go where they want to go. They can flesh things out, so there's not as much restrictions. And the best part about it being the fact that it's 200 years prior means it doesn't really interfere with Superman at all. Because that's the problem with Gotham.
Yep.
With Gotham, it's there's Bruce Wayne. I want him to be Batman. Why is he not Batman? Why is he still a child? Okay, I'm changing channels now. Ooh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And so that's kind of the problem right there.
And then you change channels again.
Yes, this is true.
My biggest problem with Gotham, though, is I know
Earmuffs, Migdalia. I'm sorry,
I know
continue.
that they're like, oh, we don't want to place it in a time period, but it's a little jarring when they're using cell phones and still typewriters. I feel like it doesn't.
That's a very Tim Burton thing, though, to do.
It's like, hold on, I'm gonna make a phone call and I gotta type the thing, ding. I don't understand that part of it. But
at the same time, it kind of reminds you of The Wire. It just kind of shows you how underfunded the Gotham Police Department is. Man, they got no money. They even got a laptop. Oh, God. No wonder the Joker's killing everybody.
Now, Tony, one of the big characters, which we're going to talk a little bit more about later on in the show, one of the big characters from DC lore that's coming into this is going to be Adam Strange. Are you excited to see a current DC character like Adam Strange, who's never been on any live-action iteration of anything in DC, coming to the small screen?
I mean, yeah. I mean, why? Because I was actually going to jump off of your response about why SyFy can just do things that other cable network shows or networks can't do. That's because of their audience. SyFy caters to a very dedicated nerd audience. So for any other network to say we're gonna do a Superman show that's not about Superman, that would have never flown on anything else. And so when you go ahead and say we're gonna do Adam Strange, there's nobody else that was going to be really excited about that. You can't fly that to CW. You can't do that on SyFy though. So yeah, I think that's really, really cool.
That's a good point. I agree.
So, obviously, when you get geek fandom shows like Krypton, or have, in the past, we've gotten Arrow, and what are some of the other Legends of Tomorrow, and The Flash. With that comes the convention circuit, and at the convention circuit, you get panels, but you also get something that's very important, is cosplay.
Oh, yeah.
So, Kryptonian cosplay, we're going to bring in Kelly, who you guys know from Achievement Unlocked. She does our video games here, and she can have my seat. She's going to be talking about the cosplay side of Krypton. Woo! So Kelly, and you got another super chat from Jezer, $4.99. Can we get the Zod family in this?
Oh,
but we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Good question,
All right.
Jezer. Get Jess and Jezer.
Where is Jezer?
Cookie face.
Hi, guys.
Where are you?
Hey, save me any snacks.
Sorry.
Do you want more? We
That's
have
okay.
more. I'll go put my hand in the weird goo
We
again.
can whip another.
Yeah,
whip another
I can
batch.
do that.
But I really want to talk about the cosplay capabilities in Krypton. And first of all, Jody, you make a really good Segel.
Sure.
Get a leather jacket, and I think you could pull that cosplay off real well.
Yeah, but his outfit is literally kind of, I don't know, it's like they were like, hey, let's do Han Solo, but real life.
I completely agree. I do think a lot of
Diet
the
Han
Krypton
Solo.
garb
There it
is
is.
a huge crossover between Star Wars and Star Trek. I can kind of see a big fusion. But one of my favorite aspects coming on as a cosplayer is that a lot of the costumes have classes. There's a lot of classes, so you can do kind of like a casual cosplay with regular clothes, or you can get crazy with it.
Like bounding?
Bounding.
I learned that
We
word.
learned that recently, right?
I know what that is.
You can bound.
Then,
Or
What is that?
the
It sounds like
military
SNL, but okay.
has like a really awesome like Daft Punk looking vibe, and it's got like lights on the
You tell me
mask.
later.
And so,
Oh, right.
if you are a more skilled cosplayer, you could totally pull that off with some foam and some lights and hook it up. And so, I believe we do have some photos to run through of examples of what we're going to be seeing, but of course the show hasn't started yet, so I have not actually seen the extent of options that we will be getting. So I'm very
Awesome.
excited. I'm super excited.
Roll the
What's that
clip.
video game that those guys look like? Seen them in the back.
Mass Effect?
No.
These are some classic comic book cosplay. You can really... Anyone can do this. Cosplay is for everyone, and that's what I love about it.
Absolutely.
So this is definitely something you can pull off. Buy a cape. Buy a cape. That's what you need to do to be a superhero cosplayer.
And that's the John Byrne Krypton we're talking about.
Yes.
I like it. Big fan of that Adam West Batman.
And then this
Oh.
is
Hey.
from Man of Steel. As we just watched a clip from that, which is pretty awesome. This is definitely a more skilled side of cosplay, or you could buy your cosplay. I totally support that.
I really hope that's foam, because if it's not foam,
I
it's
think
gonna
it
be
is
so heavy.
If it's not foam, that guy
so
is
heavy.
in
It's
pain
so
right
hot.
now.
It's so hot. Oh god.
He's got to be in pain if that's not foam. I really hope that's foam. But foam's very cheap. See, there's all sorts of skills. You don't have to be like crazy skilled at doing anything.
Is that a
If-
velvet cowl that I'm looking at?
It looks like a curtain rod.
No, the
I know.
cowl,
I
the
think it's
headpiece.
velvet. I
Oh,
think
I
it's
see what
crushed
you're saying.
velvet.
Yeah.
That's
I think it's crushed
amazing.
velvet.
But no, I agree. I thought that was a curtain rod too. I was like, he stole his
It might
mom's
be.
drapes.
Is it the
It
Carol
might be.
about to be
Burnett
upset.
He's like in the
sketch?
hotel and he's like, I need a costume real quick. Rip.
Please tell me it's the Carol Burnett sketch. The Scarlet.
But have any of you guys cosplayed before?
Yes, I am.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes, I am a dedicated cosplayer.
Awesome.
What
What
have
kind
you
of?
done?
Yeah.
My favorite is probably Carmen Sandiego.
Yes.
Oh.
She is such a hit at San Diego Comic Con.
Oh,
I have people all the time screaming out, Carmen Electra! And it's like, I know what you meant.
Close, but
Yeah.
not quite.
Yeah. I actually do have a Clark Kent. I actually, it was like the only, I don't want to say acceptable cosplay that I own, but it was the only one that like the civilians were going to be able to get. Because like not even everybody gets Carmen Sandiego, but like if I did Clark Kent, it was, I came in third in like the
congrats.
in the company Halloween contest that year. So thanks.
What about you guys? Any cosplaying?
No, I have a Marty outfit,
Yeah.
but I've never worn it.
Why have you not worn it?
I don't know, man. It's like I gotta pull it out and I gotta put it on, then you gotta like think on, and I just.
That's not that bad.
You're talking
That's
about
not
Marty
My
bad.
daughter,
McFly?
on the other hand, every year she's like, I gotta have a different outfit every day for San Diego. She goes to San Diego.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
I
Every
obviously.
day?
Yes,
Every
obviously.
day?
proud.
Yes,
She makes me
obviously.
proud.
She has like one super obscure one and then like one mainstream one. Her last year it was her super obscure one was the Kingdom Come, like the iris, the Flash from Kingdom Come.
Oh.
The gold one with the goggle thing.
This always vibrates and everything like that. Yeah.
So she did that, and then the next day she was Wonder Woman in the blue dress.
Oh. The new one.
Yeah.
Wait, you
Did
said
you do
Marty
her sword?
cosplay? Is that Marty McFly?
Marty McFly. I'm sorry. Yes, Marty McFly.
I'm bringing my Marty McFly to WonderCon next week, so I
Oh.
think
You
you
wanna
should do the
WonderCon?
same.
Well, I have the sneakers. The
Oh wait, no.
Oh,
no.
you got
you got the
2007.
actual sneakers
Yeah.
from Nike?
Yeah.
Oh, props.
I know.
Those
That's
are
why I
legit.
was
That's
like,
the come
I
up
got
right
the
there.
sneakers, and I'm like, guess I have to get everything else.
Oh, so this is 2015 Marty with the
Yeah,
with the jacket and the
jacket and
hologram.
And the
I do
hoverboard and everything like
1985
that.
Marty.
Well, I have a
Oh my
hoverboard,
god!
but-
All right, we're doing this. Bring it.
Because again, if you like,
Pull it out.
there's
We're
like
doing this.
certain degrees. It's like, all right, am I doing props now?
Yeah.
Like, do I have to go that
don't
far?
have to.
Yeah.
What do you do with props?
I mean,
when
you
you're
should,
walking around?
because props are fun.
Props do become a nuisance if you do want to go around and enjoy the con. I had a friend who dressed up as Harley Quinn, and she dressed up as Ramona, and she made a hammer, and she ended up ditching her hammer somewhere because she's like, I'm not carrying this around anymore. No, I'm not doing this anymore. And she
You got, bags
she,
of junk
left
to
it
carry.
in the corner.
You don't need another carry.
No.
Right?
I do very little props. I'm not gonna lie, just because function is everything. Which is why Marty is awesome, especially at Comic Con, just because they jack up that AC in that convention center. So like the first time that I went to Comic Con, I was like, I'm gonna be cute and adorable. No, I'm gonna be layered up like Marty McFly. So yeah,
There it is. There it is.
Best.
we're gonna do this.
You can just take off
can't
your
say
jacket.
no. Say yes right now on camera
For
Commit.
what?
for Marty McFly.
You gotta be Marty McFly.
WonderCon.
Yes.
But see, now you
need-
proof right
See,
here.
now you need a third one though. You need the one for the third movie. You need a Wild West Marty McFly. That's good.
Yeah.
We'll
no,
get
I'm
Joe.
Not gonna agree to
He's
that.
not doing anything. Joe will do it.
I'm not gonna agree to that.
Joe, you're gonna do it. Yeah, man.
Thank you, Joe. Joe's got it.
He's saying yes. You can't see him, but he's saying yes. Thanks, Joe.
But I'm sorry, I didn't.
No,
I was gonna say
go for it.
I do hope that Krypton does have like cosplay.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
I actually pulled some photos
Oh, great.
of the characters from the show, and I can show you a little taste because I don't know exactly what everything is yet. I'm so excited. But they did release the photo of Brainiac,
Mm-hmm.
so that is a pretty awesome option.
If you just want to do a face,
If you just
if, you know, it's or I guess. Like,
he's got some armor on.
What is it? I
Yeah,
thought it was like
what is
black
it?
wires.
No, he had something.
All right.
You can make it work
It's like
when you do
slithering.
cosplay. I've seen where's Jezzer? What's the dude from Power Rangers in the tube? I'm blanking.
Zordon?
Zordon. I've seen Zordon cosplays walking around. You can do anything.
How does
He
one
has
do
like he wears the
Zordon?
table
Because you
like
just
on
wear
his
like all
shoulders.
gray, you put yourself in a fish.
Yeah, and he has
Oh,
Yeah,
so like
fish
a
tank.
Madame Leota kind of thing, where it's
Exactly, yeah.
just like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fishbowl.
You paint your face
Aw,
white.
That's
and then-
nice.
Looks like the pictures are a little slow. Sorry, guys.
We're gonna use our imaginations.
pictures from the show here.
They are on your Slack. That's what you said.
There it is. There it is.
Send them on Slack. But like I was saying, there's different tiers in the show. So of course you got Seg-El, who's been knocked down to the bottom, and he's kind of got like the rugged leather jacket, and he's got like the gloves. So it's very very casual, something simple. And then you jump
Krypton
up
casual.
to the higher status people, where it's got like the Game of Thrones style, like straight line garbs. And then you've got like the military, where it's got some armor and it's got some lights. So there is like a big range of opportunity.
Do you think it's going to be like Firefly levels of variety, though?
I think it can be. I mean, because seeing how simple it can get. I mean, even Adam Strange is on there. He's in like Converse. Here, we got Adam Strange.
Whoa.
Very
Whoa.
simple. But it's something that anyone can pull off. Like cosplay
Okay.
is for everybody, so it's a simple bounding. But those are one of the ones where it's obscure and
I think
you
I
need
have
to know.
this outfit.
Look, you know, exactly. It's jeans, a hoodie, and a jacket.
Yeah.
Like,
And
seriously.
here's
Oh.
Seg-El, so you just need a leather jacket.
I-
You're set. Carry on
Dude,
tape.
that is you.
That
That's
is
your
you.
face. Is that what you look like underneath the beard?
Yes.
Wow.
Nothing like that.
Dude, you
He's a
said.
handsome dude. I'm not gonna know.
He's like, Jonah's like, I'll take it. I'll take this win.
Yeah.
Oh,
Smolder
wow.
Smoldering eyes.
Oh.
Oh. What's up, bro?
I'm loving this
Jody,
jacket.
can we get a smolder from you real quick? Can we do a
See?
quick pair of contrast?
This is
No.
something. This is a leather jacket that you see around commonly. I definitely think that you can find something
With the
similar.
two hooks on the side?
You can glue on
glue- oh, you
rivets,
got- make
grommets, glue grommet on.
Wallace and Gromit.
You got this. Remember the shower curtain, Rod? You could do anything with
I would do a
cosplay.
shower curtain thing in a minute.
Here's some of the military
Oh.
garbs.
Wow.
Very sleek. I like the high
Yo.
collars. And then in another picture that I saw of the military, they actually had like this rib cage looking like armor. It like had these little slants coming out, and it
Okay.
had like lights on the mask. So there is
wow.
That's
Lisa,
dope.
and she's got her military. And I believe that in another photo we can see more of her holster. It's like this shiny metal, like stiff holster, which is very futuristic looking. It's super cool.
Yeah, it's very Star Trek reboot. I like
And
it a
it's
lot.
all comfortable too. I do like when cosplay is comfortable.
It has to be. Otherwise,
I've
it's
had-
just masochism.
I've had a few where like I can't move my neck and I have to like turn like this when like talking to people, and it's nice when you get a comfortable
What do
cosplay.
you mean not
Yeah.
move your neck? Like
Well, 'cause-
Michael Keaton? Like not move your neck?
Or even Christian Bale in the
See,
first
look,
movie.
here's the
like,
What is that?
military, and you can see the armor.
The horror game,
I mean,
it's a
all
space
I see
horror
is
game.
Mass
You know what I'm
Effect.
talking about? There's a
I see
space
Mass Effect and
where
Daft
you
Punk.
can
That's what
chop
I
off
see.
arms.
Yeah.
You chop off arms of aliens.
What are you
That's
talking about?
very vague.
The game.
Use
Yeah.
your words.
I'm trying. So the game is based on the fact that you can't like shoot things. You got to chop them up. It's like 5. Oh, I love that dude.
Yeah.
Hey.
You actually.
Oh,
you
that's
make
gonna be
your
a
own
good
cosplay.
one.
I didn't make
Weird.
this. I didn't
Who
make
made
this.
this?
Who made this?
Daniel.
Daniel.
Daniel, so
Awesome.
talented.
That's
I like that
an
he made it out of,
example
like,
of
baby
cosplay.
faces, so it's extra creepy.
It's extra creepy. But I just love all the possibilities that you can get
Yeah.
out of the show.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I think it's very cosplay worthy.
Yeah.
And I want to see you guys tag me in all of your cosplay bounding and cosplay armors and whatever you make from the show, because it looks awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Cool.
Dope.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you for
Thanks,
having
Kelly.
me join you guys.
Your hair's still wonderful. I love it. I've been gushing about her hair. I'm sorry.
Whispering.
So,
Welcome back, Joe.
I am not gonna cosplay
Yes,
as your
you
Marty.
are.
I'm not gonna
You
be at
already
WonderCon.
said-
I'm in New York for WinterCon.
Aw, man.
So,
Fine.
but you guys did a great job with the cosplay. Kelly has some great advice there. For by the way, let me tell a fun story about her. We went to BlizzCon 2 years ago together, and she talked about props, about having big props. I helped her carry around these giant, like, I don't know what they were. What were they? What are they? Warglames?
Glaives.
Glaives, yeah, they were huge. But her cosplay was on point. It was at BlizzCon, so she knows what she's doing. You can follow her at Cranky Cupcakes on Instagram to see some of her cosplay, and you can also check her out on Cranky Cupcakes on Facebook to see some of the cosplay she's done.
Dope.
Now, we're doing this show to catch you up for everything you need to know about Krypton, the SyFy Channel show. Why are we doing that, you might ask? Is because we are doing, with Nerd HQ, we are doing the Krypton after show that you can see here live on Wednesday, right after the show airs. But we're also doing a live watch through over at Nerd HQ. Yep. We have a few people that are going to be doing that. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So join us live on Wednesday. I believe that's going to go live. Well, the information's on Nerd HQ and on that hashtag show. But I believe that goes live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Never eat.
7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pacific time. And 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There you go. We got the times down there.
The idea is that the watch along is like a second screen Mystery Science Theater type thing. You can leave it in the corner. It's like we're in your living room chatting with you while you're watching Krypton. I want you to watch Krypton, and we'll talk with you while that's distracting. And you can turn the volume down or up if you think we're funny or not. And then after that, this is, like your regular after show is not what we got. This is more like sketches. We're going to have some round table, of course, but there's bits. There's going to be some crazy stuff happening, a lot more giveaways, and I think we might have to bring Jor-El back. He might have something to say about it.
Crazy old Jor-El.
Yeah.
He's going to be fun again. But tonight
he doesn't
was...
spit anymore.
Right? Tonight was just a little taste of what you can expect on the straight after Krypton after show right here at that hashtag show and with Nerd HQ. Now, Krypton is going to have a plethora of characters, and I want to get into these characters because we have the official breakdowns. Now, you're not going to find these anywhere else. On the internet, you can scour. Now, I know here at that hashtag show, we are known for breaking news. And we're going to break exactly what these characters, break down what these characters are exactly right now here, live on Krypton 101. Everything you want to know, everything you were too afraid to ask about Krypton.
Yeah.
So, now, we're going to tell you. Now, there's a couple characters we're not going to do, mainly because they're minor characters, like the Shardsmans and the Laborer and the Old Man. But let's get into the main characters. Jody, why don't you kick us off with Sig-El?
Am I just reading this?
Yeah, just read the whole breakdown.
Sig-El, 20 to 21 years old. Sig is lean, athletic, and quietly confident. This reads like a personal ad. An intuitive brilliance for all things technical. Once the scion of a high-ranking elf family and destined to be the ancestor of both Jor-El and Kal-El, Sig-El lives in Krypton long before it turned apart by earthquakes. He is currently lowly and rankless. Oh, really? Okay, cool. His grandfather, Val-El, was executed for Damn, son! Val-El was executed for high crimes, heresy, treason, sabotage. You know what we're talking about. And his family was stripped of its rank. But just as Seg is offered an opportunity to marry into the Vex clan and escape his untouchable caste, his life changes radically. He learns that his long-dead grandfather is, in fact, a prisoner in the Phantom Zone. He's offered a rare opportunity to fulfill a delayed destiny and battle alongside Val to protect Krypton from its own hopelessly satisfied and calcified class system. He's a series regular, if you didn't know that from all of the trailers.
That's a lot of information.
Stratified?
Stratified.
You know
Stratified.
what? You know what? I'm fine with it.
That's a lot of information on our main character, Sig-El, in the Krypton show. So now a lot of you guys wanted to know about Zod. So we're going to get our first character that is part of the Zod family. That is, I believe it's Lita Zod. In her 20s. Beautiful. Listen. Do we have to read this whole thing?
No, that's up to you. I thought we were. You made me do it.
Where was he? Genetically bred for physical perfection, Lita's a member of the military caste on Krypton. Her mother, Allura, is General Zod. Lita is a cadet, possibly.
I don't think her mother, Allura, is General Zod.
Is a general. Did I just say General Zod?
You did. Is a general.
It's a natural reaction
when you say the word
Zod,
general, you want to put Zod after
You
it.
do. You absolutely do.
If it's her mother, though, isn't she General Zod?
Allura is a general.
Damn, she is.
She's a General Zod, yeah.
She's a okay. You're
She's
right.
a General Zod. Possibly against her will, she's been having a clandestine romance with Seg for some time.
Yo.
Romance in this thing, huh?
Make out.
Where
See,
was I?
that's what this is gonna do that the CW doesn't.
Right.
Is we're gonna get sexy with this.
And it's a forbidden romance because Sig is a rankless son
Yes.
of a clerk, a
Forbidden
member of a disgraced family.
Romance.
Devoted to Seg, a profoundly unhappy because he is bonded to Nessa. Nessa Vex. Lita snatches brief hours of happiness in Seg's arms. Seg's arms.
Yeah.
But that happiness is bittersweet because the clock striking the last hours before each of them must be sealed to another.
So Lita is the side chick.
Lita is the side chick.
She's the side. Ooh.
She's Paris from Romeo and Juliet.
She is. You're right.
Give us our next, Johnny.
Okay, we got Val-El, a handsome, square-jawed man in his 50s. He's the father of Jor-El and the grandfather of Seg-El, a genius and a rogue. He believes that space information is a basic form of self-defense and has tried to warn the Kryptonian elite about the coming of an ancient threat. Okay, so he knows what's happened to the planet. He built the Fortress of... Oh, he built the Fortress of Solitude?
Whoa!
What?
Wow.
Wait, okay. And discovered the existence of the Phantom Zone. Okay, Val-El's on
This
point.
Val-El
This
guy.
dude's like Reed Richards. He's smart.
Why isn't he the main or whatever? I'm sorry, continue.
He is sentenced to death. No. For his alleged crimes, treason, heresy, and sabotage. Okay, don't worry, he is a rogue, all right? But Val-El is a little too cunning for his enemies. He escapes into the Phantom Zone, only to return after 15 years, just in time to educate his grandson, Seg, about Krypton's imminent war. Oh, so he's like the revolutionary. He comes back and is like, yo, son, don't trust the government.
And Val-El
Don't
is
trust the
also
government.
played by one of the knight for the Lannister family in
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Wait, which one?
Yeah, he played on Game of Thrones. He
That's him.
played.
That's the
I
name.
know, but what did he play on Game of Thrones?
Oh, hand down.
Exactly. Okay, yours is a little bit backwards than mine.
No, yours is backwards. Mine is right. Just so we're clear.
They're talking about penises.
Oh wow.
He's
Usually.
Barristan Selmy.
Oh my god.
Sir
Oh,
Barristan.
Yeah.
Sir Barristan.
Who
All
goes
right,
to
so,
serve Khaleesi.
Yes.
Exactly.
I loved him.
so give us our next one, Tony.
Okay, sorry. Very excited about that. Okay. Darren Vex. First seen in his 40s, and then 15 years later, he is Chief Magistrate of Kandor, a man whose real business is to defend the established oligarchy against heretics and dissidents. Authoritative and powerful, the father of Nissa Vex, Darren sentences Val-El to immediate execution. What a dick! And forces his close family members to watch.
Don't turn away.
So he's Joffrey? I'm sorry.
He's Joffrey.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
We're
what
getting
an
a
ass.
sci-fi Game of Thrones, huh?
really are, though.
Superman back
Hopefully, man, this is some good world building.
Oh my god. But
Man, I
15
like
years
politics.
later, Darren has 5 daughters to marry off. Damn. And he decides to roll the dice and ennoble Seg by letting him marry his 5th daughter, Nessa. He's wholly unaware that somehow Val-El escaped execution by flight to the Phantom Zone and that he's going to be back in action, disrupting the smooth course of Kryptonian politics once again.
So he's going to have his daughter
There's
marry the guy
no
whose
way
dad
he's
he's killed.
rolling the dice on Seg-El. That has to be like some underhand. That has to be a plan.
We'll have to find out in the series. Now, Jody,
Yeah.
give us Allura Zod.
Allura Zod, in her 40s, Lita's icy mother, a general of the military guild. Ooh, guilds. I like that. Allura is coldly beautiful with an athletic body and a mane of long blonde hair. Now, she is not blonde. Hold on. Isn't that played by, Anne... I'm going to pronounce that name wrong.
And Ogbomo.
Mm-hmm. Like, she's in the trailers and everything. She's the one that's, like, yelling
She's
at everyone.
great, by the way,
Yeah.
in the trailers.
But
I'm
not
excited to see
blonde.
her. She's not blonde.
Definitely
No.
not blonde.
Okay.
Not blonde.
So we've deviated. Okay.
Yep.
Which is good.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. She's a military training officer who is in peak physical condition,
Of course.
tough to the point of being merciless. She is just as hard on her own daughter as any of the other cadets, and appearing willing to break Lita's arm to make a point.
Whoa.
She seems like a badass in this.
Why
All right,
are
next
the
up.
parents such dicks? I don't I'm sorry. Continue.
Next up, we got Dev M, a chiseled young man in his 20s. He's another cadet under Allura's command, and he's assigned and her assigned fiance as well. A young man who's quite good at hiding his thoughts from his superior officers. He doesn't know about Lita's forbidden romance with Seg and vents his general ill will by abusing homeless, rankless losers.
Whoa.
Now,
Okay.
unlike most of these other characters, Dev M is a character from the comics that has a pretty extensive background. He used
What is that
he was
background?
he's like a bad boy from Krypton, escaped to the Phantom Zone, and then like he shows up in like early Superboy issues, and Superboy's like, "Oh man, another guy from Krypton, this is great." And he's like, "Whatever, let's go smoke." And Superman's like, "I don't know about that. Smoking's bad." And he's like, "Whatever, bro, let's go hang up." You know, he was like that character, and then they eventually always get sent back to the Phantom Zone. I think he helped out the Legion every once in a while, but I don't think he was. I always think he was like a bad boy.
So
I think they fast forward him to the future, and then they kind of retcon him later on. He becomes a Daxamite, I think.
Oh,
And-
wait,
exactly.
are we saying that this is the guy that's in Smallville? I mean, Supergirl right now?
No,
Daxel?
no, that's
Or Mon-El? That's
Mon-El.
Mon-El. That's
Yeah.
Mon-El.
That's a different.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Exactly.
All right, give us Kim Do.
Okay, Kim Do. He don't, but Kim Do. In his 20s and gender fluid, Kim Do is Seg's best friend. Gender fluid.
Wow.
Okay.
Krypton,
all right.
Krypton's ahead of its light speed's ahead of
There it is. She
Oh.
is Seg's rankless partner in underground tech repair business. All right, they're getting the house on. Kim is a brilliant engineer in her own right and possible budding revolutionary. Okay, all right.
I'm in for it.
That's cool.
All right, give us Nessa Vex.
Nessa Vex. In her 20s, a junior magistrate who is the daughter of Darren Vex. She is betrothed to Jor-El, the fifth of 5 daughters, and her low status gives her a dry, deadpan sense of humor about herself and her pre-programmed future. Seemingly demure and compliant, Nissa will be revealed to be a budding politician with incredible ambition. Curious.
I like that she has a deadpan sense of humor about her marriage. She's like, haha, I'm being treated like property. So hilarious. When we get in women's rights on Krypton.
So give us, is it Charles?
Karis?
Charis?
Charis.
Give us Charis.
Charisse?
Seg's mother. Oh, how come she doesn't have a
Or L? Yeah, no L.
pseudonym? I don't know. All right, Charis is a
Surname?
secret confidant of her father-in-law, Val-El, forced to watch the disgrace of her husband's family and the execution of Val for treason and sabotage. Charis keeps a close eye on Seg, waiting for him to grow into manhood and inherit the legacy of his grandfather. More keenly aware of Seg's clandestine romance with Lita than he imagines, Charis
knows.
seizes an opportunity to take
Mama
Seg
always
on a
knows.
little trip
does.
to Val-El's cunningly concealed A Fortress of Solitude. A short vacation that costs her...
Is this our first big spoiler?
Cut to wings, cut to wings.
Now here's the thing.
You gonna finish that sentence?
No.
Yes. No.
No.
Costs Charis her life.
What?
Spoiler there. We didn't put the spoiler alert up. We know this was coming.
Here's the thing about this, though, and I'm gonna... This has nothing to do with anything other than I love this writer. He's like, opportunity to take Seg on a little trip. A little trip. Yeah, it's kind of cunningly concealed. Oh, I got 2 C's there. She's dead. The way he writes this is like, cost Charis her
Yeah, I want to meet them.
Anyway.
We got Tyrell, Val-El's son and Seg's father. He is married to Charis and is forced to witness the execution of his father for treason and sabotage. 15 years later, having been stripped of his rank and severely lowered in the cast, Tyrell is lowly file clerk in Darren Vex's courtroom. He appears to be determined to spend his life well under the radar. But when he realizes that his son is threatened by the investigation into his wife's actions, Tyrell sacrifices his life. Sex. So there's spoiler alerts all over of what we're doing, apparently.
What are you doing to stop this, Josh?
You're the ones that are talking.
His idea. Let's do this. We got this.
This
right?
is stuff you won't get from everybody else on
distraught.
their after shows.
Yeah.
All right, now a big important part of Krypton is Rao.
Yes.
And if you remember Smallville, they had the Book of Rao. Now in Krypton for the SyFy channel, we're gonna have the voice of Rao.
Oh, okay.
So what is the voice of Rao, Johnny?
A mysterious hooded figure whose face is obscured by a mask of light. He's a religious autocrat on Krypton and controls the lawmakers from behind the scenes. The voice of Rao has an oddly ethereal quality to his speech. Sometimes something vaguely inhuman. Addressed as Your Reverence, he gives Darren his marching orders, then melt away.
See, that I love because Krypton is like it's been science, and that's like a religious element. You know, like every once in a while they'll say Great Row and all that stuff, but this is like a delve into that religion.
I like that a lot as well.
I'm a big fan of anytime you want to play with that angle on.
And I like the fact he's controlling things from behind the scenes, going back into Game of Thrones and whatnot.
Absolutely.
But we're getting it earlier on, and I like how it's like he's vaguely inhuman. So it's like, okay, so is the puppet master actually a puppet himself? Mm-hmm. So there's something to look into right there.
Now let's skip ahead a little bit. So Tony, give us Mama Zed.
Okay. Mama Zed, a rankless old woman who sells fruit on the street. Oh, Kryptonian fruit. She knows Seg well and has happy memories of favors granted her by members of the L family. She's too old to care who overhears her acerbic comments about the politics of Krypton. Oh, I like her. No fucks given.
Exactly.
I like it.
Mama Zed.
Just selling fruit, talking shit about Krypton.
All right, so next up, we're going to skip ahead a little bit more. A familiar name in DC lore, as you all know if you're a Batman fan, even a Smallville fan, is Oracle. What is the Oracle in Krypton, Jody?
There is none, really.
There is none, but there is in this
show. You want me to read that? I thought you were talking about in the comics and stuff. I was like,
there will be in this show. There will be an Oracle.
Apparently, a voice that speaks from the Genesis chamber, the Oracle shows to Seg and Nyssa the life of their soon-to-be-born son, from conception to old age, and answers a private question of Seg's.
Ooh.
How private is private?
So what's that question, though? What's that question? What did he ask?
How do I get the birth control? Maybe voiceover. It's like Siri. So it's Siri for them.
Siri for them. Now, the last character we have. Now, this might contain spoilers because I have not read ahead. So, like you've already... Listen, you've been spoiled with 2 deaths already in these breakdowns. Show hasn't even been out and we've already have 2 deaths. All right, so we got Adam Strange, a male in his late 20s to 30s. All-American athletic, a chain smoker down to his last cigarette.
Oh, life's hard.
A world of wary human randomly teleported between Earth and an alien planet of Ran. I say that right? Ran?
Yeah, Ran.
Adam Strange finds himself stranded on Krypton and caught up in the struggle against Brainiac. An unlikely mentor to Seg-El, Adam hides his heroic instincts and painful past beneath the mask of roguish, cynical charm.
Whoa.
So everybody in the show, by the way, he's the only one with an American accent. Everybody else in the show has a British accent.
Now, here's a curveball, because in the trailers, Adam Strange is portrayed as the guy who comes back with the cape and says, "Hey, Soups, you got, hey, Sigel, I'm going down the lineage now. Hey, Sigel, you got to do this, otherwise Soups doesn't exist." But look, there's a key word in there: human randomly teleported between Earth. Now, does that mean he got there by accident and just happens to know this stuff?
Well, I mean, it seems like he had a. Somebody sent him there for a purpose, I feel like, and it seems like that could be revealed later on down the line, which we don't currently know right now, but we do know that he ends up there.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this too is the fact that we know he's probably, in fact he said Soups, he's coming from current DC universe, which means, again, possibility of a crossover right there. So we could see some maybe cursed DC heroes pop up on Krypton from time to time. We don't know, but there's potential if they want to.
Now here's another interesting thing that I just thought of. I don't know if we're going to see it in this show so much, but we know when Kryptonians come to Earth, they get their powers heightened by the sun.
Yes.
Now, do we know if... Now, this might be the first time this is happening. A human going to Krypton, will it have the reverse effect?
Now, usually in the comics and stuff like that, when a human goes to Krypton, they like crumble under the intense gravity, and he doesn't seem to be having any issues. But it'd be a good story.
So maybe we're getting a little...
crutches.
It's a little bit different now. I'm excited to see Mr. Adam Strange appear on Krypton. How are you excited to see Adam Strange?
When it was first announced, I was psyched as all hell, because Adam Strange is like classic pulp, crazy sci-fi, and I love that stuff. And then I saw him in the Detroit hat, and the hoodie, and the jacket, and I was like...
You just described Eminem.
Exactly. And I was like, oh, is he going to do some like beatboxing? Because that's not my Adam Strange.
Hashtag not my your Adam Strange. So, Tony, question for you is, which of these characters that we read intrigues you the most?
I mean, it sounds like a lot of political intrigue. Like, I know there's like a lot of drama with the romances and whatnot happening, but it sounds like Kryptonian Game of Thrones, doesn't it?
It does sound like Kryptonian Game of Thrones.
So I'm pretty excited just about how all these characters are somehow interconnected, and it's going to be really cool to see like how it progresses. And honestly, we have a starting point. We know like where this is going to begin, and we know eventually what's going to happen to Krypton. Where where's the ending point, or what's the point? Like, where is, what is going to happen? And let's hope that this actually, makes it not just this first season, but more seasons, so that way we can actually see, the story progress. But yeah.
Johnny, does it bother you that we're getting a Krypton show that's a Superman prequel, since we kind of know what happens to Krypton anyways? I mean, technically, we did get the prequels for Star Wars, and we already knew what was going to happen to Anakin.
Not at all, because the cool thing about it is, because like we talked about with Gotham, that's the biggest problem with Gotham, is that it takes place during Batman's timeline, so we're going there with expectations. But with this, there's no expectations we have. Like, the book is wide open, and like we talked about earlier, like, why do writers like to go back to write about Krypton? Because I feel like it's an open book. You can kind of play with it how you want to, interpret it, and you can have as much fun as you want. So with this, I'm actually just genuinely really excited, because the cool thing about it is, though, from the Kryptonian lore that we do know, we know that some of these cities survive. We know Kandor survives. We know Supergirl city survives.
Argo.
Exactly. We also know the Phantom Zone still exists.
Yep.
So this could actually introduce new characters into the DC universe as well. So honestly, I'm all on board for it.
Now, what I'd like to do now is kind of go around the table here and give me your wildest crackpot theory of what you think could happen in Krypton season 1. And I'm going to start with Tony.
Don't start with me.
I'm going to start with Jody.
I'm gonna go with this angle. I feel like it's gonna start out. It's gonna be kind of like Gotham. All right, it's gonna start out kind of normal, a little intrigue, little politics, and then at some point it's gonna make a right turn into like time travel craziness. I feel like
any Booster Gold maybe?
Look, you have one character time traveling that we know of. Adam Strange has to be going back and forth talking to Superman because he's got the cape in some scenes, and I don't know, it's weird. So my thought is that they gotta like play with that. There's gotta be like a whole episode where everything goes wrong, and then he's gotta go back and fix it. And then by the time they Flashpoint, and then Henry Cavill will come in and they'll erase that and be a different Batman. Be good. It's
All right.
awesome.
All right. I didn't keep up quite with that, but Johnny, give me your crackpot theory about Krypton.
Okay, crackpot theory about Krypton. I think this for just season 1 or just in general.
Season 1.
Sure.
Well, let's hope it gets picked up for a second season. 10 episodes is a lot, man.
10 episodes is a lot, but
it's called the Netflix average. Go ahead.
All right, but I'm going to go beyond season 1 though, because again, Jody just stole mine because I was on board for the time travel too. But I think that same time travel will feed into later seasons, and that's how we're going to get to see some cool things pops up, and we might get a crossover with the Arrowverse.
Oh, interesting.
So, because even before Supergirl left CBS, we had a crossover there, and we know how DC likes to keep things tight. So I think this could potentially lead to a crossover there, and definitely we have Supergirl flying around right now. So we can have Supergirl go back to Krypton, and then we get this whole storyline there where she's like, "How do I save this planet?"
Well, I thought the easy one there is Adam Strange shows up on Supergirl. That's the easy one.
Exactly.
Or what's the guy's name in Legends, the time traveler? Rip Hunter shows up.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Shows up on Krypton.
Yep.
Yeah, and Adam Strange just showing up on Legends tomorrow. He would fit in perfectly right there.
Absolutely.
Or even Sig-El could show up on Legends tomorrow because they do this a lot of this jumping stuff.
Yeah.
So Tony, give me your crackpot theory.
I think the mid-series finale is going to be that Leda Zod is pregnant with Jor-El, and that she actually becomes disowned by the Zod family, which would actually play into why General Zod and the rest of the Zod family hate the El family so effing much.
Oh, I like that.
That is less a crackpot theory
and more
actual
damn good storyline.
Because, there's too much about her mother, about being her so merciless to the point where she's breaking daughters' arms and stuff. Like, how much more difficult is it going to be to disown your own kid? Can't be.
True. And then you got to think about, why is she breaking her daughter's arms? What did she do to get to that point as well?
I think she just sounds like someone who would just do that to make a point. So then if you're just doing that just for shits and giggles, you're going to go ahead and disown your own kid because, like, the honor of your family is at stake. And then, if you're going to go ahead and maybe that's why we don't know a whole lot about Jor-El's parents, is just because it's this thing where, like, people don't talk about it because it's scandalous.
I like them. I like all of them.
That's great.
I like all of them. We're going to keep track of those, and Krypton airs on Wednesdays on SyFy Channel.
Yeah.
That's 7 Eastern. I'm sorry, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. I think it actually airs in all time zones at 10 p.m. actually. So that's probably a thing too. All right, so I think that's going to wrap us up for everything you needed to know about Krypton. Jody, you got anything last mentions that we got to get in there? I know we'll talk about the Krypton After Show in a second, but
No. I think it's going to be great. Sci-fi, not the. It is the channel, but it's science fiction, which is what I'm really jonesing for. I need a good, I need that fix.
You gotta get that science fiction.
And the live watch along is going to be presented on Nerd HQ. You can check that out on Nerd HQ. It's going to be hilarious. So if you like that dual screen experience, which everybody's doing now, you got the Mystery Science Theater style. Join us for the Krypton live watch. After that, straight after Krypton hits your internet airwaves, I guess, and then we're going to be doing that live right here on that hashtag show. We're going to be talking about the show, breaking it down a little bit, and also we have a lot of fun segments planned, and the possible return of crazy Jor-El.
Possible. I mean, we you know.
Jor-El. Sorry, Jor-El.
How dare you?
I'm bringing an umbrella if he comes back next time.
Yeah. So Jor-El will be joining us hopefully on our after show as well. But that's going to do it for us, guys. Where can everybody find you on social media? Jody, are you even on social media?
No.
You can't find Jody on social
I
media.
got Facebook, but I never go
Off
on
the
there.
grid.
Now, Tony, where can people find you on social
You
media?
guys can find me everywhere, all the social medias at the Tony Sanchez, Tony with an I, Sanchez with a Z.
And Johnny?
You can find me at JohnnyP313 on Twitter and Instagram. Come give me a follow. Let's have a chat.
And you also write comics. What's that comic called?
Oh, I wear a couple comics called Blacklist and Brownhand, another comic called Broken, and another comic called Teen Horror. If you're at WonderCon this weekend, you'll find me at RS Alley. Come by and say what's up.
You can find me on all social media, that hashtag Joe, and also over on at Screen Rant. Go check that out, and every week here at that hashtag show. But I think that's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending in geek pop culture.
Bye.
Deuces.
Thanks.